I think we are live.
Yay!
All right, I got this little microphone here that I need to set up. Hello, everyone, and hello and welcome to the Lighten Up, It's Only Light podcast. It's I'm Vero Bero, and this is my cohort, Christina Welsh. I'm going to move this camera up just a little bit so it's not cutting off our heads.
Hey guys, how are you this morning?
How's that? Okay, excellent. Welcome. All right, so today, let me fix this little microphone, so I'm probably messing up all the YouTube people. Okay, so today we are going to talk a little bit about spiritual journey and like how we, got here to this place. I'm gonna do a little adjustment of the cameras, and then we're gonna start with a little reading, because I always like to start with a reading.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Put that one down a little bit, and this one.
You're so good about getting all of this technology in place so that we can even have this discussion and bring this to you live. So thank you, Vero, for everything you do.
Thank you, Christina, and I appreciate it. And we just have so much fun
I'm
doing
going to move the
this.
computer though, so your top of your head isn't whacked off.
All right, you can do
see
that.
it? Do you
Yeah,
see it?
you can do that. I
Let's
appreciate
do
that.
it. Yeah. I know. I like the top
I did
of
work
your
for the
head.
mob once.
Let's
That
see. Cement shoes. Let's see. Yes,
yeah, there we go. That's
a little
good.
bit better.
I like it. Yeah,
Okay.
good job. And we can see a little bit of our fun painting behind us, especially on the YouTube one. We can see the lemon. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's so true, though, right? Like that is a thing.
It is a thing. It's been that phrase has been used literally for a very, very long time for very good reason.
Yeah, because that's the whole nature of being human. Like that's what we're supposed to be doing. Like every time something gives you contrast, like if you use lemons or contrast, you turn it into something beautiful. You make lemonade. You turn that contrast, that knowing what you don't want, into okay, now I know what I do want, and you go for it and you enjoy it and you give yourself permission to enjoy things. Like, this weekend, like yesterday, I
find lemons to be a blessing. Not trying to interrupt, but lemons are pretty cool. People would suffer from scurvy if they hadn't had access.
Exactly. So lemons, good. But like this weekend, I did spend one day totally immersed in work, and I loved it. But I chose to love it. I was like, I am so blessed that I get to do this. And and then at the end of the day, I was like, okay, it's time to go watch the sunset or something, because I was then physically tired from all the mental work. But I got to choose to do that, and I didn't say, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to work all day. No, none of that. Because I get to. It's really exciting to get to. So anyway, we decided to do a reading at the beginning and a reading at the end today for our little podcast. So because we always like to do the readings, and Christina brought down this one that is her deck, which is the Goddess Power Oracle, which I have always loved, absolutely loved. It is by Colette Baron Reed and illustrated by Jenna Del Grattaglia. Oh, I gotta say that it's Italian, so I've got to get it right. Della Grattaglia. It's the GL, so it's Grattaglia or something.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's Della Grattaglia, something like that. So fun fact.
Yeah,
I was an actor for a while, and fun fact. My first ever paying job as an actor was a voiceover in Italian.
Wow.
And I had a good accent because I had friends that were Italian.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what I was saying.
Oh my gosh.
So like I had to call my professor, Professor Hillary, from Florida State University. I had already graduated, and I was like, will you help me translate this, because they hired me to do this and I don't really speak Italian.
Oh
and
my God.
he was my Italian professor,
Yeah.
and he's like, in true professor style, he's like, well, what do you think it says? What do you think? How do you think it is? So we went back and forth until I had a proper translation of like all of the phrases I needed to say, because it was for a public transit.
Oh.
So I had to say, you know, walk.
It's a PSA.
Yeah, so walk this way to get to the monorail, you know, type of thing. So I'm saying all this in Italian. They wanted a native Italian speaker, but that was not me.
Hey.
But they thought I was. So hey, it worked out.
Yeah,
So
grazie.
anyway, so I don't know how I got onto that, but
Ciao
the
bella.
Italian, yes, ciao bella, molto grazie. Actually, that's probably really loud.
Merci. I'm more French.
But French is sexy. I do love French.
Yeah. Not
All right,
the way
so-
I speak it. Let's just be honest, people. I'm not trying to fool anybody.
French with a South Carolina accent.
Exactly. Because, you know, I realize that sometimes I may take a one syllable word and make it a 2-syllable word. That's what I discovered when I started listening to the podcast. I was like, oh my God, that's a 1-syllable word. And I made it like it's like a 3-syllable word with my southern drawl.
Well, you know that southern draw is actually Old English.
Oh, okay.
Back in
I can
the-
understand that. That makes sense.
Yeah, back in the days of Shakespeare, for example, people would understand Shakespeare if everybody just did it in a southern accent.
Oh my goodness.
Like seriously, if you started doing Shakespeare in a southern accent, people would like to be or not to be.
I would not have
is
to
the
work very
question.
hard.
You know, like it makes more sense. So,
Howdy.
but that's because the original settlers were from that era into the Carolinas and such. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Goodness.
anyway, pulling out this deck.
Yeah, this is exciting. This is
So
gonna
it
be good.
says, the mystical, the magical, the numinous quality of life is the domain of the fierce and creative feminine aspect of the universe.
I love that.
Yes, I love it too.
I mean, if you want me to
Fabulous.
hold on to anything,
Oh, I just
Yeah.
set it around. You know, it's all
I
good.
can be your.
Pulled in the
Yeah.
box of the cards out. I love how tarot decks and oracle decks are, where they're just all so pretty with the little ribbons, make sure that everything goes in right. I love that. It's got a
Yeah.
nice Celtic tree of life inside. Fabulous. Okay,
Beautiful.
so we're gonna shuffle up this deck, and
I love to
you
see
know-
how other people do it, Vero.
Oh yeah,
I don't do that.
I'm not a reader. We just really decided that I would get to for this one, because I
good at it.
I am intuitive, but I just don't practice. I do like to pull cards for myself, so this will be fun to pull one for the audience, for somebody out there that needs to hear it. Is what my intention is. There's a message in one of these cards that is meant for somebody who is there, who is going to see this, whether now or on the replay, it doesn't matter. Somebody is waiting for this card.
Boop, boop.
And I'm just going to take one right off the top and call to that one. Oh, wow, this is a powerful one. Okay, this is Eponia, Wise Leadership. This is a fierce and wise leader goddess. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I am in love with her already.
She looks pretty
So-
powerful,
Yes.
pretty mighty.
Let me see here. Let me fix this really quick. I've got to fix some things on the computer.
That is a beautiful card.
Yeah, you want to hold it a second
Yeah,
while I
yeah,
fix this? 'Cause
yeah.
I
I'll
want
hold it up
to make sure
and talk
that
about.
everybody can
Number
see us, because
14.
having a little issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 14. She's holding something. What is that? I can't tell. She's holding something in her hand. I can't tell what it is. Maybe you guys can tell. Maybe you can
see.
tell what that is.
So to me, it looks like a heart. Honestly,
Oh.
it's
It's a green heart or blue.
yeah. So there's like with wise leadership, but it comes from the heart, and the heart chakra is green.
Yeah, that's a
So-
pretty rich green too. It's like
Yeah.
peacock green.
Yeah, so that's just what I'm feeling from it. Like she's just standing with heart first, you know, and then I also noticed this. There's a horse in the bottom corner.
Oh, little Trojan.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like wise leaders are heart centered and lead from the heart, but also don't give it all away. You know, don't give it all away. Got some. Where's the book? Oh, here it is. So let's read about Aponia a little bit. Let's see, number 14.
Take a card.
Yeah.
So you can do
Yeah.
that.
Let's
Just
read
so
a
you
little
guys
bit
can
about it.
see. And here's where we were talking about. It's backwards for me. Looks, they're the little bluish greenish heart. So beautiful. Plus, you know, when I look at this person, they're grasping it with their right hand, and their right arm is what's forward and front.
It's like,
That's the powerful, you know, right arm of the law.
Yeah.
You know, or you know, the righteous arm. And you're right, the right
the
arm is just
shield
powerful.
almost.
Yeah. It's the masculine side of us. Anyway,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. Go ahead, Vero. Sorry.
oh, you're fine. No, this is awesome. I love it. We can always do it together. Stepping into the world. So the empowerment message, stepping into the world with a sense of surety and positive self-worth is what is called for now. Epona, the Celtic Roman horse goddess of leadership and guidance, offers her wisdom. Know that you have what it takes to heed it. You can do anything you place your attention on, and you'll find it easy to accomplish what's needed for your intentions to take form. Whether you are aware of this or not, the way you manage your accomplishments, and even the way you handle the failures and losses, is modeling the way forward for others. So you are an example. There is a wisdom growing within you, being true to who you are and placing integrity and humility equal to enthusiasm makes you a wise leader indeed, one that the goddess Epona is so proud of. So you are a leader, you are wise, you are powerful, and the universe is proud of you. That is amazing. And then there's an alignment message as well. So being overly assertive and determined to take action is not in your favor at this time. If you feel afraid of making a mistake or worried that you will somehow compromise yourself or disappoint someone else, consider this a time to regroup and assess the details. As the goddess Epona knows, not all paths are meant to be explored. Not all battles are meant to be fought. Not all opportunities will pan out. Beware of the tendency to overreach. You have come a long way, and the best leader knows when to take a break. Your task is to hold back and breathe deeply, trusting fully that when the time comes to act, the goddess Epona will guide you. You don't want to act too soon out of fear and insecurity, or even by hubris, as you will surely slip and lose your stance. Take heart, for this is the perfect moment for a time out to see what the goddess Epona truly has for you. The divine has you safe and secure. You just need to wait. So, yeah, so taking that wisdom, that leadership, but also knowing that you don't have to do it all. You know, you can choose what action is best going forward, and always take inspired action. Like action that's not inspired will just be turning the wheels. So when you're called to do something, when you're called to move forward, you know it, you feel it inside, right? So as a leader, you know, take the time to meditate and find that space within, so that the action that you do take is inspired by the divine, is inspired by your higher self, so that you move forward in alignment. So
I love that message. And I also kind of gathered from that too, that the choice or the decision, the action to be inactive.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That's a choice, that's an action in itself, is to kind of not take action because sometimes that's where we need to be in that process too, right? So I love that because that's really using your wisdom.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that's how you know, or how you learn to take positive action, like you were saying, is by maybe pausing for a little bit sometimes before you actually leap.
Yes.
And kind of assessing if this is really the thing that you're supposed to actually be acting on, you know? So I love that. That's super sweet. Thank you, Vero.
Oh yeah, that was well. Thank you for the deck, for letting me choose from the deck, because that was amazing. I love it.
It's a fun one.
Perfect deck.
One.
Yeah.
Now, also today we're going to be talking about because we were talking about our journey and where it's led us to this point. We were maybe looking at our guides, our tools that have helped us come to this point. Some of our favorite books, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Vero. What are some of your favorite books that have kind of helped guide you and lead you in a way that's good for all and for your highest self?
Well, so my journey started a very, very long time ago, and went through your normal like ups and downs of a journey, where you go off the path for a while and then you come back. And for me, coming back was really interesting. I was moving to New York from Florida, or Atlanta at that time, in a little Mustang in the middle of the blizzard of '96. And they were literally lifting the state of emergency in the states I was driving through as I was driving through them. Like I would get to the Virginia, border, and they lift the state of emergency in the next state. So okay, you can keep going.
Keep traveling.
Keep
well,
driving
that's when
north.
You know maybe it's meant for you potentially.
Yeah,
right?
so true. True. I was very young, and just out of college type, and I had no idea where I was going, what I was going to do, how I was going to live. I had like $600 and thought I could get an apartment in New York.
Maybe back then it was actually possible, though.
Yeah, it wasn't even then.
Well, if you know somebody, it kind of works out for you. I should have made this little trip.
Yeah. So I was driving, and I stopped at a fast food place to get a bite to eat and wait for them to lift the state of emergency. And as I was in line, I met someone who was also traveling to New York. This person was traveling to Mechanicsburg, which is just past the city by like an hour. And so he's like, I can't help but overhear that you're going toward New York. I was like, oh yeah, going toward New York. He's like, this is really a weird question, but would you want to share a hotel room while we wait for the state of emergency to lift? And I was like, sure, why not? I'm a total stranger. I'll just share a hotel room with you. He's like, yeah, I'm not a creep or anything. I'm like, yeah, I don't get that vibe. So we got a hotel room, separate beds, and stayed up talking, and left when we left the next morning, he gave me his copy of the Celestine Prophecy, because he had been talking about that as his journey had started. And I gave him an iron. Wow. I don't know why I gave him an iron. I think it was just an exchange, like, I don't need this iron.
So here you go.
You're going to a house, you have an iron. But
much obliged.
So I did not get murdered, which was good. And I ended up making a friend and coming across the Celestine Prophecy. So the Celestine Prophecy was the first book in my rediscovery journey. So and that's by James Redfield, and it's about basically how there are no coincidences, everything is meant to be, everything is happening for you. And there was some beautiful stuff in it too about relationships, and how when you are looking for a relationship, a lot of people look for that part that completes the circle. So like two halves making a whole.
Yeah.
But that's not a very strong, one of the main themes about it is that's not a very strong bond, it's very weak. But if you have two circles, two whole people coming together as one, that bond is unbreakable. So like that melds all the way around, like, so that's something to look for in relationships and friendships, in partnerships, people that are whole, perfect, and complete all by themselves. And if you are working on yourself and you are whole, perfect, and complete, then you can come together as one really strong friendship, partnership, whatever. And that's a bond that's not breakable by time. I'm sure some people out there have friendships that go back to like childhood and stuff. You could, like, I have a girlfriend, I can not talk to her for years.
And then just catch up or pick up
right where we left off.
How have you been? Like, what are the kids doing?
Yeah, like it's not, there's no time missed because we are always bonded, we are always together, so, and I think it's that way with lots of friendships and partnerships.
Yeah, I agree. That's
so what about you? What book started yours?
Well,
if there was one.
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, truthfully, if I think back to the book that would have like it was a palmistry book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, what about it called you?
I was just into metaphysical stuff. I kind of enjoyed it. It was like, but I didn't get into the palmistry so hard. But I knew that was like it was like just the opening of a book, because beyond palmistry, there's so much more.
Right.
But that's kind of what introduced me to other books,
Right.
So, and then also just maybe the fact that there's different modalities that you can practice in your life or receive, healing or insight from another person. But I don't know, I got it used even, so is that a used thing? I was a kid too. I was probably a teenager.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's me. I knew something was just, but I knew it always was like I could tap into all these little things. But yeah. But I wrote down some stuff because I think it was important, just because we decided that we would talk about our favorite books or material like that, that was part of our spiritual journey. But there's so many. I can't even believe it sometimes when I think about, I read that. And then there's also a lot of helpful people that have had books out there that are on YouTube and things like that. That I haven't actually read their books, but their teachings or their philosophies you can catch up on YouTube, and see it that way too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I know you I'm like Alan Watts might be one of those people.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah. So
Ram Dass.
Yeah,
Neville
exactly.
Goddard. Yeah. Thank you, YouTube, right, for like bringing these great teachers to life over and over again.
Yeah.
They may be past, but they're still great teachers, and we actually get to hear them in their own words. I find that when I'm listening to, like, for example, Neville Goddard, he's passed long ago, but he's from an era where the being recorded was new, so there are not a lot of recordings of him, but the ones that are him are divine. They're so wonderful to listen to. But I find that when I'm listening to somebody reading him, because he was a prolific writer as well, I find that when I'm listening to somebody reading him, I'm not as tuned into it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like when the message comes from him, it's his inflection, it's his personality, it's his belief and conviction that really bring the message to life for me.
Yeah. You know what I think a lot of that goes back to when you are activated by voice, it's because that person has a activated voice chakra. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their throat chakra is
makes sense.
activated, and you are responding to the vibration and the tones and the frequencies that are in their voice. So there's some voices that are really, really soothing and that you love to hear, and they put you into a real meditative place even. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get that real hard, real hard.
Yeah.
I'm influenced by that as well. So I kind of, yeah. And it's, if I was going to be perfectly honest, it's one of my gifts.
Yeah.
The energy that I have in my throat chakra.
Oh yeah.
It will put you in a place of meditative sweetness if you want to go there. So, you know what I'm saying?
I absolutely hear that. And you just have a natural like lilting inflection in your voice that it just opens up and people just want to listen to you.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's why you're a great reader as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm seriously only. I'm only recently discovering that this is a gift of mine.
Ah.
Yeah, that my voice has this healing energy.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't know it, and I was like, wait a minute. Some people want me to talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I think.
Isn't that fun?
I know.
It's fun. It's a gift that other people see, but that you had hidden from yourself for a little while.
Yeah, you know, I'm so selfish with my gifts, I guess. It takes me a minute. I'm pretty thick.
Oh no.
Yeah, I am. I'm one of those hard learners. I'm a Taurus. I'm stubborn. Takes me a minute. It's been lifetimes for me to get to this point.
Yeah.
Incarnations and reincarnations and lifetimes. Okay,
That reminds me of another book. So
is that right?
Yeah,
oh, talk out.
Oh, but yeah, it reminds me of that book.
I love it.
The same book.
Many Lives, Many Masters by
Dr.
Dr. Brian Weiss.
Yeah, that was a very big one for me. That helped me to understand the levels of consciousness.
It doesn't stray too far from that, does it? And I love me some Matt Kahn. I think that this person is a brilliant soul.
I don't know Matt Kahn. I'll have to look into that one.
Get into Matt Kahn. You know, divinely guided. He's an angel. Knows it. He talks about Angel Academy. You know, he's.
Very
I think
cool.
maybe some of his earlier stuff that's out there would take you to the Pleiades and there's
fun.
yeah.
I definitely want to read some of that.
Yeah, and he has access to information from, you know, beyond. So do check out Matt Kahn. He's certainly lovely, and he has several books. Whatever Arises, love that. That's really, I haven't personally read it in its entirety, but you can find out a lot about Matt's books and the content by following his website or going to his YouTube, and because he has a podcast that he delivers on a pretty frequent schedule too. Yeah, pretty intense.
New stuff to take in.
And I love, I'm a big space person, as you guys may already be aware. So there's a native person, I know, Nancy Red Star. She's a native person. She's done a lot of research and books on experiences as it relates to her indigenous peoples and their interactions with star beings.
Oh,
so yeah. Truly interesting. She's got a couple of books out there. And I love this Gary Zukov. If you haven't read Seed of the Soul, really interesting stuff. Perils of the Soul is another one, super sweet. I love the Secret Doctrine by Madame Blavatsky. This is a lifetime book for me because it will take me that long to read it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's that big, you know. Power of Now.
Yeah, I read War and Peace once.
Oh, did you? Once. Oh my goodness.
I did it. But the Power of Now, amazing. Yeah. So yeah, those are all amazing books, amazing authors. I have one more that really, really affected my journey, like huge, and led me to some other teachers. And it was a book called, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, by Lynn Grabhorn. Now, it was basically, it's introducing the teachings of Abraham and Abraham Hicks via another book, via another channel.
Okay, yeah.
But she was somebody who went to a lot of Abraham seminars in the very early stages, and she went to them and said she was going to write a book, and they were like, "Cool, do it," and she did, and it was that book that led me to Abraham. And so some of the stuff in that book was about just the law of attraction and expecting, just getting into that state of alignment. And one of the things she called it was getting to a place where your teeth are buzzing. So and it's feeling that energy, like you're like so in tune that you can feel the vibration in your teeth. And because the vibration is so high.
Made me want to rub my teeth, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's like zzz,
made me sweat. I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah, but that book led me to the teachings of Abraham, and asking it is given, the vortex, Abraham has written through Esther a number of books. And a lot of people ask Abraham, why are you here, helping humanity, why are you, and Abraham's like, you've created this, you are source beings, the greater part of you is still, non-physical, and you have called together this energy, and that's why I'm here,
Wow.
So why? Because you asked. Because you wanted to know. So here I am, basically.
Interesting.
And but yeah, so that's been a lot of fun following the teachings of Abraham Hicks, and I do love some other like guru types that are, although he would never call himself a guru. He actually says he's not a guru.
Yeah, I would never call myself a guru.
No, yeah, exactly. But I found the teachings of Tony Robbins, and I had listened to the entire Unleash the Power Within before I'd even ever knew that I could go see him in person. Like I'd listened to
a speaker and
and then I ended up seeing him in person and doing that for a little bit.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
He's hugely famous. I mean, he kind of took it up a level for the people in the back.
Yeah.
He took it there.
And his message is really the same. It's a lot of people confuse it and say that we have to do action, but his message is the same as Abraham's message. Really, it's not action. It's getting in alignment and then doing the action. It's getting in touch with yourself and then letting the action happen. Like it's not so much you have to do effort. His message, if you dig down into it, is about being your best self. And when you are your best self, magic happens.
Yeah. When you speak of that, it reminds me of the Buddha, which is with me today in a huge way. Because the Buddha was lounging all the time. The Buddha was in a meditative state. The Buddha was in a relaxed state. You don't see the Buddha running around and trying to tackle all of these, to-dos. Did the Buddha have a kid? Like, did they have to get them to soccer practice? I mean, you know what I'm saying? What the hell did Buddha do? Buddha didn't do anything. Buddha sat on Buddha's butt, sometimes laid down real relaxed on a chaise. Buddha was just meditating 24/7. Yeah. You don't see the Buddha do anything else. So I'm like, that's really interesting. That's kind of like we can balance that out in our lives and take those
Yeah.
sweet little pauses and not have to do all the time.
Yes.
Be like Buddha. Sit on your sweet ass. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to be everywhere doing all the things. We can seriously not do things. It's sometimes about the inaction that is and that takes you to the present moment. Sometimes more than anything is just not doing, because that's why it's our brain that tells us to keep busy all the time. It's the brain that has all these amazing ideas, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, I should totally do that. Oh, I need to get to play. I need to go shopping. The brain is what motivates us to do all of these things.
And sometimes depending on where you are, if you're in a truly receptive mode, you might get that impulse, and that's exactly what you should do.
Yeah.
But you have to know where you are. If you're in the I don't want to do any other mode, then any impulse you get in that mode is not going to be something for your highest good. So following your inspired impulses. And it's funny you say that, because Sadhguru, I listened to some Sadhguru, and Sadhguru is just amazing, Indian guru. And he would call himself a guru because he is Sadhguru.
I know this person.
But he's on YouTube as well.
Okay.
And so Sadhguru, the other night I had to take a picture of it so I would just keep it remembered. I took a screenshot of this. It's one of his shorts. It says, "You are not your body. You are not your mind." And he said to go to bed, meditating with that. If you have to breathe in on the "you are not your body" and breathe out on "you are not your mind," do that. But repeat that mantra in your head. I am not my body. I am not my mind. I am not my body. I am not my mind. And let yourself fall to sleep with that thought, because you are neither. And where do we go when we sleep?
I'm going all over the damn place, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I am not limited to this sweet, sweet body.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, Vero, this is maybe where we do part a little bit. And I think I am the body. I think I am the mind. And my responsibility to that is to honor it and not dismiss it, and not pretend like it doesn't exist, or that it doesn't have some type of realness to it, because it's a gift. It's a huge, huge gift. So I want to go to bed at night saying, I am the body, I am the mind, I'm the conscious body, I'm the conscious mind, I'm the one that's going to have the most joy. So I will say, I feel in tune with that. But,
That's interesting, because I don't feel like we're actually apart on that at all.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So
it's okay if we are. So.
Yeah, and it is okay if we are.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a shift by connecting to that divine seed of you. You can then claim this body and this mind.
Yeah.
And from a different perspective. You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that it's I think that by meditating on that, you come to that.
Maybe so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Instead of like just this, I think that is where the path takes us back to. Like you said, I've done it too. We kind of are in this dismissive state sometimes. And when we do that, like for me, I might be an avoidance person. I'm one of those people. I try to avoid stuff. If I don't have to do it, I won't. So, and kind of like Buddha didn't do anything. So,
And Abraham, like if you listen to Abraham, who's here right now, who's the current leading edge of spirituality, like if you listen to Abraham says to do exactly that, to enjoy life.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do your dishes, don't feel bad about it. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy.
Yeah.
You know? It's like,
it's true.
It's the feeling bad about it that's the problem.
It's true. And that's projection too. Like that's what I've kind of had to like learn with, especially with my words. So I'm being careful about that. I'm being careful about how I phrase stuff, and what I say, because we're from the same generation. I was raised in a Catholic family, not that I'm trying to call it out, but we come from a long line of guilty people. You know what I'm saying? We're guilty, all the time guilty. And we also come from trying to please, and they go hand in hand. It's a cycle. We can't please you enough, so we're guilty because of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I broke out of it, thank you. I can speak very positively about this now. You know, I woke up to the fact that that's this pattern that I had invested in my life, you know. And some of it, and it's not a knock to anybody, it's just sometimes the way that we're raised, our culture, our upbringing, whatever. And I will get to a point, I swear to you guys, there's a point to this. What was it though? That's going to be the real...
Getting over the Catholic guilt.
Yeah, I got to remember what it was all about. How I phrase things. So, a lot of the times, I am one of those people, historically, that would lead with, I'm sorry. I'm a sorry person. You know what I'm saying? Even for everybody else's situation. Like, it has nothing to do with me at all. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's their situation, but I'm sorry. So I would tell them how sorry I was. It was my perception that I needed to be sorry. I don't really know that I needed to be. Yeah. I viewed their situation and thought that it was a sorrowful situation and would just volunteer my sorrow. I'd throw it up on them. I am so sorry you're going through this. And then I realized, oh snap, I can't do that. Yeah. I'm projecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't take away anybody else's suffering either, because their suffering is for them.
Yeah.
That's one of the things in shamanic journeying and such that everybody, like, who's the shaman will hold the space. Everybody who's not the shaman hears someone crying because they're going through something. They're having a moment where they're experiencing this tremendous sorrow, and the people around them will want to comfort them, but you have to keep those people from comforting them because they need to get through this to the other side so that they can heal, right? So, and the shaman is a smart enough person to know to hold the space and to allow them to go through their suffering so that they can heal, and that's huge.
It is huge. You're right. You're right.
So, you want to do you have any more books that you want to share? Or you want to do a reading?
I'm going to do a reading. And
Christina reading.
Yeah. Brought the Beyond.
I love this deck.
Yeah, me too.
Love.
I've kind of been using it a little bit more frequently. I felt the real major energy. Yeah, tell it.
Oh yeah, this is Beyond Lemuria Oracle Cards by Izzy Ivy.
And she does do the art in it as well.
Yeah.
Like she
available on Blue Angel Publications.
And at Vero's Sweet Sacred Crystal store too.
Yes. You can get it there as well.
You can. So Izzy Ivy believes that she is a descendant from Lemuria, Mu, for a lot of the people that may know. And I get that hard. So, because they're it's kind of like one of the original races of the planet.
Yeah, the Lemurians and the Atlanteans.
Yeah. So, whew. Angels on earth, spread your wings, love.
Yeah.
It's always on the updraft. You'll find peace there. I'm very certain of it. So, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Today we got Lumen Essence, and it's card number 35, and she's a beautiful goddess with lotus all around her, dragonflies, and a heart like frequency type, like cardiac pulse type thing going on, and her little wings are super cute too. She's cute.
Let's put this up here.
Cute, cute, cute. Lumen Essence. So this card is based on self-love, the light that radiates from our hearts. Isn't this so interesting? Because Vero's card had a heart-centered type focus on it as well, with the goddess holding the heart in her hand. Also too, we have light shining in the darkness, heart-centered living, removing your heart armor, accepting your shadows as the flip side of your strengths, a vulnerable, wide open heart, and authentic, heartfelt needs. So here we're going to just kind of slice into some of the meat of the messaging behind this card and bring you that when we choose to journey through life from our hearts, it illuminates the darkness. All illusion drops away and we see what is real. What does self-love look like for you? Self-love is often talked about, but we don't always consider its deeper implications. One of the keys for bringing heaven to earth is the realization of our optimal reality. To create a new earth, not dissimilar to the Lemurian utopia, we navigate or illuminate our journey through our hearts. When our core foundations are integrity and kindness, our choices are ethical, and our souls radiate warmth, hold compassionate space for others, and inspire others to carry it forward. Okay, now there's a divinatory meaning that I'm also going to bring to you, and then I'm going to just touch on something that comes to me from this deck, okay? And from this card. It notes to consider the parts of yourself you may not be accepting. You may be experiencing an inner dissonance due to what you are trying to push away. This card is about self-love. That is the deep, compassionate, unconditional love of self that brings you into wholeness. And that's what we discussed earlier too. You know, to be whole is the strength of that beautiful circle, right? Yeah. And when I think back to like Celtic rings, the marriage rings, you know, that are the two rings, the symbol of, you know, both being kind of like connected. So yeah, fun stuff. But yeah, okay. Luminescence means the essence of light. There is nothing that makes us shine more than a heart that is full of love. You can shine through the shadows most gracefully when there is no fear within. It notes to accept your shadows so they can more easily resolve. Allow more light and love inside and out of your world. So, one of the things that has come to me that is the largest thing that I could share with you all that makes me feel that allows more light into the heart and less fear into your reality and into your mind, so that you're aligned, so that your thoughts and your actions are based on heart-centeredness, you know, and good intentions, okay? And that is trust. Just trust. So the energies that flow around you, the energies that are within you, the divine energy that guides you, that heart compass, that knowingness, that intuitiveness, instinctiveness that resides within your body, these are all things that ask you to trust. And it's maybe sometimes where you have to get to know yourself a little bit better to feel that you can trust, because we kind of stray away a little bit of ourselves sometimes, or well, you know, we just, sometimes it's just the dynamics of life, but trust that you can get back on that for you, you know. And when Vero speaks of her life being filled with joy and doing the things that she enjoys doing, whether it's you know, working towards a goal to have these amazing stores with some incredible things and beautiful stones and, you know, crystals, I think it's her ability to trust herself and trust her guidance and the divinity within that brings her to a place where she is finding where she is going to have joy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you trust yourself and you go and you just do that journey where you're trusting in the divinity of it all, you're more likely to find work that brings you joy. You know what I mean? You'll find more joy within yourself because you're kind of taking care of yourself in the best way possible and the others around you. I don't know. I trust, and sometimes it's a challenging little thing to do that, but I think it's good to explore that.
Yeah. Well, the universe always has your back.
What she said. What she said. It's really abstract to the mind to grasp that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, because we're so triggered by this little reality that we have around us, you know, with little circumstances and injections of lifing and stuff. But man, if you could just say, yeah, I trust all that. I trust that mess. I trust
it's going to work out.
The crap hitting the fan. I trust that. As a matter of fact, maybe be like, come on, poo-poo, hit me. Come on. Come on, spray me with that doo-doo. I don't care. Give it to me. You know, maybe that's what we have to be like. Instead of viewing it as doo-doo, we have to be like, you know, it's great. I love this spring shower of doo-doo on me. Come on, you know. I don't know. Just play with it. Make it a little bit more humor. Give it a little bit more humor. Maybe try that sometimes.
I mean, everything is always happening for you. So rather than it being crap hitting the fan, it's actually opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, it's a gift. It's there is my daughter's father, who's now a dear friend of mine, Trevor Crane. He always says, find the gift. Like, he has a whole seminar called "What's the Gift?" And so finding the gift in things is it's a different mindset. You know, like, so when it's the lemons lemonade, we're back to...
Yes! Circle, full circle, baby. We're whole.
Yeah, so find the gift.
Yeah, it goes back to this card, too. If you can illuminate the part that you didn't want to look at, the part that wasn't the lemonade, you know, you get to make it. You get to create. You get to have a different perspective. You get to shift your view of the lemon, and then create something beautiful and, you know, thirst quenching from it.
Yep.
And also too, that beautiful lemonade, it can be shared, damn it.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna drink from that little juicy lemon. So and what you made. So there's that too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I think that wraps it up for the day.
It does.
I think that's a perfect way to end it. So blessings, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you. I'm Vero, the owner of Sacred Crystals, sacredcrystals.rocks.
Thank you.
And
did you have any
Christina?
updates?
Oh,
Activities, updates?
We're getting close to opening a second store.
So
Getting close. So,
yeah, that's exciting.
So that's coming. We're currently in Tyrone Square Mall, so you can find us, but we're also going to be opening up in West Shore Plaza. So yay!
Yeah,
that's coming really soon.
That's exciting. All you Tampa folks, get on in that.
And this is Christina Welsh, Fashionista, Intuitive.
Oh, yeah. And just kind of enjoying bringing you guys hopefully some good information.
Yeah.
I love it. I love hanging out with you and chilling and
Yeah, excellent.
talking.
So have a beautiful day. Stay blessed. We love you. Spirit loves you. Divine Self loves you. And we will see you again next week.
Blessings.
Now to turn it all off.
Yeah. Let me go over here and do that with this one. I guess I can.
Yeah,
Just hit that. Can
no,
I hit
no,
that?
not
No?
that, I think.
Sorry,
Let's
I'm
see, how do we
forward.
end it?
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.